Hey, I'm Randy Daniels. I'm with the Memphis Union Mission. I'm the Director of Volunteer Services and Food Services here at the Mission, and I'm a pastor on staff. The mission was formed in 1945 by Jimmy Stroud. Mr. Stroud came to Memphis and saw the need for a men's alcohol shelter. The primary purpose for the mission still exists today to help men kick their alcohol habits. So we operate an alcohol drug treatment program. On an average month, we serve around 25,000 meals between all the different locations. We average anywhere from 150 to up to 300 men per night that actually stay at the men's shelter down on Poplar Avenue. One of our main focuses, besides just feeding the homeless and besides just clothing the homeless and giving them shelter, our main focus is really to share the gospel of Jesus Christ. Our volunteers are an integral part of Memphis Union Mission. We have churches such as First Baptist Church, Olive Branch, and come in and really help us by providing meals and providing the actually serving the meal, and also doing the worship service and leading chapel. We have 25 different churches that come in every single month after month, to help us in doing this. And it does a couple things. The first thing it does is it really gets those churches outside the church walls. It really enables members of these local churches. We have churches such as High Point. We have churches such as Fellowship Memphis, Cargill First Baptist Church, Emmanuel Lutheran Church. All these churches, it enables their members to get outside the wall and really fulfill the Great Commission that I think God wants us to do. The other thing it does is it helps the mission from a standpoint of a financial aid. Obviously, when churches come in and provide the meals, we don't have to buy that meal. The volunteers who come in, it really gives them a sense of fulfillment. I think we all know that we're not saved by works, we're saved by grace. But Ephesians 2:10 tells us that He has prepared works beforehand, that He has those works set aside for us. So I believe that all we have to do is walk through those open doors. And when we walk through those open doors that God opens up for us, and we do the work that He's laid out ahead of time, we are in God's will. Back 8 years ago, I was a volunteer. I came down here with a small home Bible study group. There was 8 of us, and we wanted to do something a little bit more than what we were doing. We came down here and we started serving. The first thing we did was we just sort of cooked the food, and then after coming down 2 or 3 different times, we decided we really felt like we were being called to do more. And this was the first place that I actually preached. God led me into the ministry through the Memphis Union Mission. God called me into full-time vocational ministry down here at the Memphis Union Mission. So I believe that the mission here serves a lot of different purposes. I've seen people who have come down, lay people who have come down and actually taught, I'll call it teaching as opposed to preaching, through testimony, and really share their testimony from the pulpit down here at the mission, who have never shared about Christ to anyone else in their entire lives. They come down here to the mission and they get up and they share boldly about Christ. I would just challenge each one of the members of First Baptist Church, Olive Branch, to come out of the pews, come out of the church walls. A pastor in Africa one time said this. He said that a church that does not go outside of its 4 walls is no church at all. Herb Hodges said that in his book Tally Ho the Fox, said that in a very challenging way that most Christians are called pew potatoes. And the thing that got me moving from being a 1 hour Sunday morning Christian to really doing what I think God has led me to do was a message I heard from Sam Shaw, former pastor at Germantown Baptist Church. I was sitting one Sunday morning minding my own business. You know the type. I'm sure some of you guys have been there, just sort of sitting in the pew, doing your due diligence, doing your Sunday morning checkoff. And I heard the very last part of the message that he was preaching that day. And he said this, Sam Shaw said this, he said that God doesn't need you to be qualified. God needs you to be available. And I would challenge you to be available for God. Let God use you. And if you let God use you, He will use you in a mighty way.